Hey there, welcome to the Cellseed podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel. If you've ever tried to start something meaningful, especially here on the African continent, you know what I mean when I say we don't just build businesses, we build the infrastructure needed to support these businesses. Today's episode is the kickoff of a powerful 5-part mini series called AI and Africa. And I want to open with just one bold truth. AI is not just a global tech trend, it's a local survival tool. Let me take you back for a second. In the past year, I've spent more time reflecting on how African founders operate. And let me tell you, it's often not the fairy tale of incubators, pitch decks, and even angel investors. It's actually building an e-commerce platform and also building the payment gateway for it. It is that essence of starting a service company and having to create your own bookkeeping system. It is that aspect of launching a resource hub and optimizing it for maybe 2G or 3G networks. This means that the aspect of founding a company in Africa is one of a great endeavor. I've watched friends at Swahilis. They do exactly this. I've followed how companies like Nala had to build Rafiki API to just enable their vision of seamless African remittances. Yeah. Why do they do this? It's because the ecosystem doesn't hand us all the tools at once. When we begin the journey, it's not like everything is readily available. We have to create the tools and the toolbox. And yet, I think in the middle of all that struggle, AI has arrived as a force multiplier. So why is AI different for Africa? Now, in the previous episodes, we have talked about how AI tools from ChatGPT to Slice AI can help you do more faster and more and faster. But in Africa, these tools don't just improve productivity, they level the playing field. Let's say in high infrastructure countries, AI is just a convenience, but here it is a possibility. Where you don't have marketing team, you can use tools like Blaze or something. When you don't have a graphic designer, you can use brandmark.io. When you don't have a copywriter, you can use Gemini or ChatGPT. You can't afford a studio apartment, you can use CutLabs, CapCut, Opus Clip, and so on. This isn't just a theory, this is reality. And I say it's a reality because I have done it and I have seen it. I've used these tools to, let's say, repurpose my podcast content. I've designed web pages for new ideas, and I have structured slide decks in a couple of minutes. I have translated ideas from thought to impact faster than ever within these few years. And as we build the early stages of the Scout Path Opportunities Hub right now, the SOH, we aren't just thinking about design. We are thinking about access for people with, let's say, slow internet. We are thinking about access for people with the willpower to change themselves and their communities. We are thinking about access for people with low or limited resources. This means AI is helping us turn thoughts into MVPs and MVPs into feasible or testable products. I want to break down the structural burden that are on African founders. Now, let's begin this by talking about the burden that comes, with founding a company in Africa. In most ecosystems, when you start a business, you plug into, like in China, you plug into financial services, you plug into talent pools, you plug into a well-structured logistics infrastructure, you plug into well-outlined consumer data, right? But in Africa ecosystems, it's not the same. In Africa ecosystems, let's say, you build, you educate, you coordinate, and at the same time you execute. All of these, sometimes you have to do them by yourselves or with just a tiny team. You might even need to sometimes convince people why your category matters. And I often say that in Africa, an entrepreneur is visionary, part engineer, part infrastructure designer, he's also an evangelist for his own products. And while that can seem admirable, I don't think sometimes it's exhausting. Which is why I'm convinced that if African founders can fully embrace AI, then we might be able to stop only surviving and start to scale. Now, let me be clear on this aspect of AI. I'm not saying that AI replaces people. I'm just saying that AI is your silent co-founder, your extra hands, your fast thinking research intern, and you don't need a big team in today's world to launch a big idea anymore. You just need, let's say, a bold vision. You just need a toolkit of AI platforms and even the willingness to iterate and learn. Because let's understand something, that even these AI tools, we need to understand that even these AI tools, they need sometimes testing, right? They are not like magic. No, you'll try, you'll fail, you'll prompt wrong, and sometimes you'll just even get stuck. But if you stay, let's say, consistent, you'll eventually build capacity faster than any generation before you, especially, let's say, generation before me. I can build maybe capacity better than them, or quicker than them. So let's ground this with a few examples. Swahilis, which I just mentioned earlier, my friends at Swahilis is not just creating an e-commerce platform. They are building tools to help sellers with financial literacy. Imagine if they were to layer that with a chatbot trained in Swahili using AI, right? We have agri-tech founders who are now analyzing satellite data with just AI APIs, even without being data scientists. We have solopreneurs in let's say places like Lagos or maybe in Kigali, Rwanda. They are building brands with using free design tools, smart schedulers, and even AI-powered analytics dashboards. So there's no agency, there's no funding, but they're doing it. And I think that's what we call impact. If you've been listening since the Future Forward series, you'll remember that I said entrepreneurship in 2030 will rest on maybe three things. One, I said adaptability. The other one, I said innovation. And the third one was inclusivity. I believe that AI becomes the engine that makes all these three aspects possible. When it comes to adaptability, you use AI to learn new skills, isn't it? When it comes to innovation, you use AI to prototype and test faster right now. When you come to the aspect of inclusivity, you can use AI to reach more people regardless of the background, right? So here is that bigger puzzle, big idea behind it. It is time for African founders to not expect permission, but to start. We just need leverage right now, and AI is the leverage that we need. To close today's podcast, if you're building something, try to ask yourself, what can AI take off my plate today? Try to ask yourself this question. And then if you've ever been waiting to start, know that the tools are now in your hands. If you've been overwhelmed, you should remember that you're not behind. You're just early. We are still early. And next week, in part 2 of this mini series of AI and Africa, we're going to explore what if your startup was powered by AI and not capital. We will try to also break down how to build MVPs with zero funding and scale faster with tools, and not just. We'll try to see. So this week, I just want you to make sure that you subscribe, you share to this episode, you share this episode with your You share this episode with your fellow builders, and if you've been using AI in your own startup journey, tag me or just the self-seed and I would love to hear your story. But until then, I want you to stay rooted, stay creative, and stay self-seeded. Ciao. See you in the next one.